Imagine standing at your kitchen counter each morning, holding a glass that contains not a cure, but a conversation, a quiet exchange between you and the body you've carried your whole life, finally speaking the same language. There is a glass of water sitting on my counter right now. In it, tiny black seeds are swelling, expanding, creating patterns like distant galaxies suspended in liquid. This transformation happens every morning in my kitchen, and every morning I am reminded that healing is not something we do to ourselves, is something we allow to unfold when we stop standing in its way. These 10 minutes before breakfast are not arbitrary. They are not simply about timing or convenience. They represent something deeper, something we have lost in our modern rush, from sleep to productivity. When you wake, your body is still in conversation with the night. It has been repairing, restoring, recalibrating. Your breath has been slow, your heart rate calm, your digestive system at rest. And in those first moments of consciousness, before you check your phone or shower or dress, you stand at a threshold between restoration and demand. Most of us cross that threshold violently. We jolt ourselves awake with alarms. We flood our systems with caffeine. We skip from 0 to 60 without ever acknowledging that our bodies needed a gentler transition. But when you choose to spend 10 minutes making this drink, when you measure and pour and stir and wait, you are honoring that threshold. You are saying that the shift from night to day, from rest to activity, from fasting to feeding, deserves attention and care. This pause is not wasted time. It is sacred time. It is the moment when you decide whether you will spend the day racing ahead of your body or moving in rhythm with it. And that decision, made quietly at your kitchen counter with water and seeds and lemon in hand, ripples through every hour that follows. Let me tell you what happens when you make this drink. Not what happens in your cells or your bloodstream, but what happens in the ritual itself. In the practice of showing up for yourself before the day makes its demands. You pour the water first. Room temperature is best, though some prefer it warm. Already, you are slowing down. You are not grabbing a pre-made bottle from the refrigerator. You are measuring, pouring, being present. Then come the chia seeds, and this is where the magic of waiting begins. These seeds, so small you could lose a dozen in the palm of your hand, begin to drink the water. Within minutes, each seed develops a translucent coating, a gel that makes them slippery and strange. If you have never seen this, it can look almost alien, but if you have watched it many times, it becomes familiar. Comforting, even proof that transformation does not require force, only time and the right conditions. Watch them closely. They do not burst or explode. They do not change color or shape dramatically. They simply expand, slowly, patiently, as if they have all the time in the world. And in watching them, you are reminded of something essential about how change actually works. We expect transformation to be sudden, visible, impressive. We want before and after photos, dramatic reveals, instant results. But real change, lasting change, looks more like chia seeds in water. It is quiet. It is gradual. It happens whether you are watching or not, as long as you have created the right environment. The seeds teach patience without saying a word. They show you that you cannot rush swelling, cannot force expansion, cannot demand that something become what it will become, any faster than its nature allows. And perhaps this is the most valuable lesson of the entire ritual, that your body, like these seeds, knows exactly how to transform when given what it needs and the time to do so. This is not about the individual ingredients performing isolated miracles. It is about creating a pattern, a rhythm, a daily act of care that your body begins to recognize and trust. Think of it like this. If someone criticized you every morning, your body would learn to brace for criticism. If someone surprised you with chaos every morning, your body would stay in a state of alert. But if someone offered you the same gentle, nourishing gesture every morning, your body would begin to relax into it, to expect it, to build its day around that foundation of stability. The lemon is not here to perform a function you could list on a label. It is here because its brightness cuts through the fog of waking, because its tartness brings you into your body rather than letting you drift through the morning disconnected and automatic. There is honesty in lemon. It does not pretend to be sweet. It is sharp and alive and real, and when you taste it, you are tasting something that wakes your senses without jolting them. The cinnamon carries warmth that has comforted humans for thousands of years. Long before we knew anything about why it made us feel good, we simply knew that it did, and that was enough. It is a flavor that settles, that grounds, that makes the drink feel like an embrace rather than a task. And the honey provides what we all need, more of. It rounds the sharp edges. It makes the tart bearable. It transforms what could be medicinal into something you actually look forward to drinking. These three ingredients do not work in isolation. They work together, the way a conversation works when all voices are heard. The lemon brightens, the cinnamon warms, the honey softens, and together they create something balanced, something whole. They are ancient companions to human wellness, not because science proved their worth, but because generations of people recognized that these tastes, these sensations, these simple gifts from the earth, made them feel more alive. We live in a culture of immediacy. We want results now, solutions yesterday, transformations overnight. We treat our bodies like machines that should respond instantly to input. Take this pill, feel better in an hour, drink this shake, lose weight by Friday. But the body is not a machine. It is a living ecosystem with its own rhythms, its own wisdom, its own timeline for healing, and it responds not to force, but to consistency, not to intensity, but to patience. When you drink this mixture 10 minutes before breakfast, you are practicing patience. You are saying to your body, I will wait for you. I will not rush you. I will create the conditions and trust you to do what you know how to do. This is radical in a world that tells us to push harder, go faster, override our instincts with willpower and discipline. But here is what I have learned, and what countless others have discovered through this simple practice. The body rewards patience, not always quickly, not always obviously, but eventually, inevitably. When you offer the same gentle support every morning, day after day, something shifts. It is not dramatic. You will not wake up one morning feeling completely different, but over weeks, over months, you begin to notice small things. Your energy does not spike and crash the way it used to. The mid-morning slump that had you reaching for coffee or sugar starts to fade. Your digestion becomes more predictable, less volatile. You feel less heavy, less burdened, though you might not have realized you were carrying that weight until it began to lift. It is like living with a low-grade headache for so long that you forget what it feels like to not have one. And then one day you realize, oh, the headache is gone. This is what consistency creates. Not miracles, but steady, undeniable shifts that accumulate into transformation you can feel. I think often about the difference between curing and healing. Curing is what happens when you eliminate a disease. Healing is what happens when you become whole. They are not the same thing. You can be cured and not healed. You can remove a tumor and still carry the patterns of stress and neglect that created the conditions for illness in the first place. But healing asks more of us. It asks us to change not just our symptoms, but our relationship with ourselves. This drink, this ritual, is an act of relationship. Every morning, you are saying to your body, I see you. I acknowledge that you have needs. I am willing to meet those needs. Not someday when I have more time or money or discipline, but today, right now, with what I have. There is profound power in that, because for so many of us, our relationship with our bodies is fraught with judgment and disappointment. We look in the mirror and catalogue our failures. We feel pain and resent it. We experience fatigue and berate ourselves for weakness. We are at war with ourselves, and that war exhausts us more than any illness could. But what if we stopped fighting? What if we approached our bodies, not as adversaries to be conquered, but as partners to be supported? What if healing was not about domination, but collaboration? When you make this drink each morning, you are practicing collaboration. You are offering something, and your body is receiving it. And over time, that exchange builds trust. Your body begins to understand that you are on its side, that you are listening, that you are willing to make small, consistent efforts rather than demanding instant, unsustainable changes. And here is what happens when your body trusts you. It stops hoarding. It stops clinging to inflammation and tension and stress because it believes there will never be enough. It begins to release, to let go, to function with the ease that is its natural state.